In the sense of being a self, the system called self-centeredness is providing the meaning of your life through you. How do you like it? Well, I'm telling you, it's pretty claustrophobic. And my desire since I was 6 years old was to get out of it. Well, that's probably good inclination, but I'm going to give you another bit of advice. What is that, man? Self can't get out of self. Oh, so that's why nothing's fucking worked. Exactly. If you're identified as the problem, and you try to leave as the problem, that's a bigger problem. Boom, that's why all those freaking 13-day retreats. That's fucking why I would drive to the town and then a day and a half later the effects would be dismissed and the same old would reign supreme again. That's why. Yeah, that's why. This isn't like you were bonded in 1973, but it's an activity of bonding. The glue has to be applied every day. It's fast setting, but it can't secure because it's an insane improbability what you're believing. But it holds it pretty good for a day, and then it has to reapply it. That's why you have 70,000 thoughts a day. There's the application, because the mind needs something to piggyback on to apply the glue. So if you only had one thought, there would only be one sense of my thought once during the day. What would you be doing all the rest of the day? Finding out you're not that. So no, we're going to flood you a blizzard of thoughts. So every time a thought is seen, it will be held as yours. And the claiming of the thought will be the bondage of your life. The claiming of every feeling by the word my will be what will be the bondage. Instead of one link, which was easily broken, we'll have 70,000 thoughts. Instead of one link of a feeling, we're going to have thousands of feelings. And each one of them is going to be pasted with the word my, and it's going to glue your mind to this insane idea that it's a long-lasting, independent, separate entity. It's terminally unique, and it's very, very fragile and vulnerable. And it has a huge future with tons of needs it has to make sure it gets. And it's got to do whatever it has to do to take care of itself. Fuck the rest. If not, you're going to be really bummed out on your couch, watching the same movie, eating popcorn, and blaming everyone in the world for your demise. Welcome to the world of selfing. Well, that fucking paused my mind. Many times I heard this message. I would leave a place and my mind would be on a pause. And I'll tell you, the raw mind was getting busy. The raw mind finally clamming on to one idea, which was, I'm not that. And as soon as I entertained I'm not that, the next thing it entertained, finally, I can be free of that. Not free as that, but free of that. Yeah? And being free of that doesn't entail practices and work. Being free as that does. Being free from it doesn't. Yeah? Now, I may be in a condition as an apparatus that I need a program, such as AA, to do what? To diminish the mental state, because the mental state is way too big. It's been fed way too much for way too long. Yeah? So now we're going to give it a little starvation plan. Yeah? And the mental state's going to diminish, and almost miraculously, something that didn't seem to be there is going to become obvious, which is a mental state, another state of mind, you want to call it spirit. And you're going to have the ability to reflect that, brother, because you've got a giant satellite dish like everyone else does. Yeah? And you can open up to that fact, and your mind is going to have a new fertile ground, and it's going to be fed a new nutrition, and you may start feeling fucking alive for once. You may not have to shoot up coke to feel alive. You may not have to sleep with 2 women and shoot up coke to feel alive. You may not have to jump over bridges with bungee cords to feel alive. You may not have to do all these things to sort of electroshock into a feeling that you're alive. You may be just content doing the chores, you know, maybe cutting the lawn, maybe walking around, maybe being available to another person. Yeah. Because I only had one way of looking at it from the level of doing and having. And it wasn't being produced by that in my life through spiritual practices. It may do it for others, it just didn't do it for me. Yeah? And then I have a very strong sense of what it was like when I was a kid. not what happened and everything, but the mood or the atmosphere, because I wasn't in an abusive family or anything, and I wasn't working on anything back then. Yeah. I mean, I seemed to be pretty cool without doing much. And I felt like I actually outgrew that and grew into something else. And I had known that there was a possibility. And it's just for me. I mean, it's not like this isn't a draft or a conscription. Yeah? Most people don't want to hear this, and that's fine. But if you do want to hear it, I hope it's on offer for you to hear it. Yeah? Because it saved me a lot of time and a lot of confusion, because I was working really hard to get out of something that I'm not in. And it's much nicer to have that energy used